Welcome to Soul via Soul, the podcast where we embark on a journey of self-love and true wellness. I'm your host, Jada, and I'm absolutely delighted to have you here with me as we dive into all things mind, body, and soul. Now, what do you say we get this thing started? Let's dive in. Hi, and welcome back to Soul via Soul, where we are going to talk about all things wellness in body, mind, and soul. So today I want to talk about the body. Now that's a very broad topic, I understand, and you're probably like, Jada, what are you talking about? So this has been dropped into my heart to really talk about more, especially when it comes to our healing journey. Now, moving our body is something that most people know and understand and recognize as being something that's going to help us in our health and wellness pursuits. Like movement is something that is touted, and obviously it has merits in it being something that is recommended that we all do more of because of the health benefits of doing so. I'm a personal trainer. I love exercising. It's a part of my life, and I have seen movement be so very healing in my life, and it also kind of opened the door and removed some fear. Exercise was a way that once I had like a PR, if I ran 3 miles, let's say, for the very first time, I had this huge rush of, oh my goodness, what else can I do in my life that I maybe were putting limiters on myself? So exercise has been and has played a role in my life as a metaphor for change for many years. So let's talk about the body and the ways that it can propel us forward in our health and wellness journey. So I'm going to just talk right from the very first layer, and that is obviously it's going to help with our physical health and wellness. But exercise for the pursuit of being a certain size or getting into a certain pair of clothing, although I will admit that's the reason I started running when I was 16 was to get into a pair of Guess acid wash jeans. But it was what happened in my mind that kept me running. It was the way I felt after I did that. That was the reason I kept running. And if we see our pursuits for, let's say, our body being a certain size, for example, we kind of get hung up as exercise being the only thing that we're doing that for. I'm going to go sweat it out and endure this awful exercise class because everyone says it's good for me and it's going to help me fit into my suit or that dress or whatever. But those pursuits are going to fall short because the motivation and the reason is an exterior one. It's the first layer of, okay, this is how I look. But if we go a little deeper and we think about exercise as being also a metaphor in a way that it allows healing and the removal of limiting beliefs in our life, we kind of go down another layer. It's like, oh, well, that's pretty cool because now we see exercise as being more of a tool. Yes, it's going to help our physical health and wellness, but all of a sudden now we're moving into the area of, wait, this is healing for my mind? That's awesome. That's pretty cool. So we can see as exercise as a tool, as a way for us now allowing the movement to literally move obstacles in our mind. And that's powerful because when you start recognizing that movement has a calming effect on your brain, it has a meditative way of relaxing and calming us it becomes a tool for healing for our mind. And there are more and more studies now coming out about the benefits of exercise as a tool for the treatment of mental illness, depression, anxiety, and things like that. So, exercise in the pursuit of it being for the sake of healing our mental health is also right up there as being a motivator for, and actually has the power to be more sustaining as a tool for health and wellness. And there's a third layer I want to talk about, and that's more like the soul, the energetic aspect of movement. And this is something that I don't think is talked about enough. And I want to bring light to this because, especially when we're going through a healing journey, let's say we are processing trauma or removing shame or dealing with the barriers that keep us from loving ourselves, which are often hidden in past traumas, the body stores those traumas. So now we see the body as an energetic vessel for holding those deep emotions that are often stored in our subconscious. All of a sudden now we see the body as being necessary for our healing of deep core wounds. And if we go with the theory, and I guess it's more than a theory, that there's an energy to our emotions. So the emotions that are stuck or can be stuck in our body have an energetic property to them. So when we are going through a healing process, when we are especially intentionally going through a rediscovery of our worth, and we are removing layers of limiting and false beliefs, we go through the body in order to do that. The body is the vessel. And there are things we can do with our body that are still movement, but on a more energetic level, like conscious breathing. That's going to connect the body and the mind, like understanding that there are certain foods that we need to eat more of when we are doing healing work that are going to aid in our body's ability to release those stored emotions. There are foods we want to remove that are going to help with that as well. So our body and the movement of things in and out of it are going to actually help our healing as well. So the way that we understand this whole connection of mind body, we can see movement and our body just as a vessel as being so important on so many layers of building health and wellness. Because we want health and wellness, obviously, in our physical plane. We want to maybe wear that size 8 or 10 or 12 or whatever. It doesn't matter. But it's going to help our physical body in that it lowers our risk for cardiovascular disease and stroke and all the big players. It's going to improve our mental health because it's going to be a treatment for an adjunct for depression and anxiety. And we know that movement also changes the gut flora, which is going to have an enhancing effect on our mental health. And then we go into the energetics. And we see the power of movement and the relationship we have with our body, the vessel that we are walking this earth journey, is so very important for us getting to the other side and truly having balanced wellness in mind, body, and soul. This is exactly why I created Soul Via Soul. The understanding that the SOLE, the soul, is literally the feet. It's the grounding, it's the vessel, it's the body through which we are going to experience this life. The way we love it, the way we take care of it is so important in our healing. This is why I created the membership. It's why I created my courses. Different people are at different stages of their health and wellness journey, and you can pick up wherever you are. And the idea is that I've created courses and workshops and memberships to take you and meet you where you are. Where are you on that journey? Awesome. We start where we are, and we learn the tools to take us where we want to go. But it's the body, it's the vessel that's going to get us there. And it's so important that we learn to heal our relationship with our body so that we can learn to use it for its maximum benefit in our health and wellness journey. So get out there and move your bones because it matters. And you might find that by doing so, you're going to release some emotions. I shared this story earlier with someone how I used to run. Oh, I love to run in the darkness. Number one, I like to get up early and run before the sun gets up. It just feels like I got a sneak attack on the day. But I also love to run in the rain. And I'm sure there's lots of reasons why I love to run in the rain. But one of the reasons I love to run in the rain is that it makes me feel like I have a superpower. It makes me feel like a warrior. It's like people look at me sideways and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm out here because I'm tough. And it reminds me that I can do hard things. It reminds me of my strength. And it also just feels cleansing. It feels good. And I used to sometimes cry when I ran. And if I would cry in the darkness, no one would see me. If I was crying when it was raining, nobody could tell the difference between a tear and a raindrop. It felt safe. It was a safe way to use my body as a way to move those big emotions. And you hear stories all the time of people who, get a massage and the healing touch and the movement actually releases emotions. Those emotions are in there, and we can use and learn to use our body as a tool and a vessel to help us on our health and wellness journey. Wellness in mind, wellness in body, and wellness for our soul, because it's all connected. Right? Right. Awesome. All right. Well, get your shoes on, get your swimsuit on, get your bicycle out, whatever it is, put on some dance music, move your body, and do something you love. Do something you love. Let the laughter out. Let the tears out. Let the emotions come out through your body. It's healing on every level. So until next time, move your bones and enjoy every single minute of it. And if you don't enjoy it, well, at least have a good cry. Thank you for listening to this episode of Soul via Soul. And as always, if I can help you on your wellness journey, reach out. Find me on most social platforms. Send me a message, and let's get you living your best life, removing all the barriers that you might have, known or unknown, to loving you, so we can get on with the business of feeling better.